Now let's talk about FICO 10T, which is trended data. I've been into the credit repair game for now going on 12 years. And it's been probably one of the greatest achievements of my life because I'm able to point people out some of the mistakes they've been making and put them on their paths where not only they can take back their credit, they can actually get the credit they truly deserve. And throughout the years, the credit in itself, has just been amazing. The commercials you see, the type of access to information. This is something that was actually mandated a few years ago, and now you see into fruition. But you have to understand is that nothing stays the same. Everything changes, and FICO is aware of that. You got to understand that when lenders are actually lending money, we're talking about billions of dollars of their assets they're putting out on a regular basis. So they really want to make sure that people are who they say they are, and usually your credit defines that. It's always been said that your social security number is how they can find you, but your credit score defines you. What was great about the credit repair space is that there are a lot of errors that was on people's credit reports, and you can actually correct this area. Well, they've lost billions of dollars off that. When I talk about I'm talking about lenders and other financial institutions have lost billions based on the credit repair industry. So now that you're having a FICO 10, we're talking about now tendencies and trended information because FICO 10T is going to give lenders a more precise estimate of the credit risk because that's all really credit is. It's a risk. And FICO 10T considers trended data, also known as time series data. This is data that actually shows how someone has managed their accounts for the previous 24 months. Let's talk about that for a second. 24 months, which means 24 months ago, where were you in the credit space? Did you have good credit? If so, that's great. If you've maintained it in the last 24 months, hey, your credit may skyrocket by the time FICO 10 kicks in. But maybe, you weren't in the best space 24 months ago. And so understanding that, this is what they're looking at. They're looking at your tendencies. This creates a picture of their financial situation during that time. Because a lot of people, what they do, especially when they're applying for something, is that if the credit, is bad, what they'll do is they'll hire a company to see if they can maybe fix it and get into a better place. So by the time they get in front of the lender, it shows a better profile. But they may have had a very bad tendencies or very bad trended data. And so while traded data has been offered to lenders, it was only included as a metric in a Vantage score. Now, of course, Vantage is another scoring system. It was called Vantage Score Solution, which is really independently managed by and created by Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. As I mentioned before, FICO is a subcontractor of the three CRAs. The three CRAs, it just kind of got tired of paying all the fees and said, you know what, maybe we should put together, our own type of scoring system. And they came up with Vantage Score. This is back in 2017. But FICO is still, the big boy on the block. And most people, that's what they're using. They're using the FICO matter. But what they wanted to do is they wanted to create a picture of the people's financial situation during that time because we want to actually see the data. Now, the FICO, the trended data includes balances, minimum payment requirements, and amounts you paid recent credit card statements going back 24 months. So how are you handling your credit card payments? Are you just paying the minimum or are you paying them off? This scoring model can differentiate consumers who pay credit cards in full each month or from those who carry over and revolve a balance from month to month. Maybe you're just paying the minimum because, in certain situations, that's what you were told to do. Hey, pay the minimum, keep the account open because remember, 15% of your score is history. So you've been doing that. Well, now what they're saying is we want to look at the people who pay their bills off every month as opposed to bringing over a revolving debt. Because consumers who pay their credit cards in full each month are generally considered lower risk than those who revolve a balance from month to month. So now by looking at this 24-month look back period, now we're going to see what type of data risk you are. This allows a credit scoring model to determine if a person is reducing, maintaining, or increases balances over time. These factors are considered by the newest scoring model, and they help protect risks. This helps lenders and consumers make more responsible credit decisions. And so if I tell you that a change is coming and your score may not be where you want to be right now, you have time because now you've been informed. Information is power. You actually can now start changing some of the things that you've done. but really look at your credit card statements. Get an idea of how you've been paying them. If you're currently just paying the minimum, you might want to start considering paying a little more or see if you can pay them more. The key thing is keep paying them on time. That's very important. But with this new model, now they're going to be looking at your habits for the last 24 months. Let's go on to the next module.